You ever find yourself holding on to someone who barely reaches for you? Like you're always the one calling first, texting first, making the plans, while they give you just enough attention to keep you hoping. It's exhausting, isn't it? Like trying to fill a glass that has a crack at the bottom. No matter how much you pour into it, it's never enough. The truth is, love, real love, shouldn't feel like a game of chasing or convincing. It shouldn't feel like an uphill battle where only one person is fighting to keep the connection alive. Yet so many of us stay in situations where we are constantly waiting for them to choose us, waiting for them to realize our worth, waiting for them to finally give back the same love we so freely offer. But why should love be something you have to beg for? You deserve more than being someone's second choice, backup plan, or occasional thought. You deserve the kind of love that meets you halfway, that stays without hesitation, that chooses you every single time. And that's exactly why today I want to talk about one simple truth. Choose someone who chooses you. Love should be mutual because at its core, it is about connection, balance, and shared energy. When two people come together in any relationship, whether romantic, platonic, or even professional, there must be a level of reciprocity that keeps the bond strong. Imagine carrying all the weight in a relationship, always being the one to call, text, plan, or make the effort. It becomes exhausting. That's because love in its purest form was never meant to be one-sided. It thrives when both individuals willingly invest in each other, not when one person is constantly proving their worth while the other barely notices. Mutual love is not about keeping score. It's not about saying, I did this for you, now you owe me. It's about a natural exchange of care and appreciation. A silent understanding that both people are equally willing to be present, to listen, to give. When love is mutual, there is no doubt, no confusion, and no need for endless reassurances. It just exists, freely and effortlessly. Think about the people in your life who truly care about you. You don't question their loyalty, do you? You don't wonder if they'll respond when you need them. That's what mutual love looks like. It is steady, reliable, and reassuring. On the other hand, when love is one-sided, it becomes painful. You start overanalyzing every interaction, questioning if you are enough, if you did something wrong, if you need to change just to be seen. But love was never meant to be earned. It is not a reward for persistence. If someone truly values you, they will show it without needing constant reminders. They will choose you just as you choose them. It's not about grand gestures or poetic words. It's in the small things. The way they remember your favorite song, the way they ask if you got home safe, the way they check in just to see how you're doing. Love is in the details, and when someone genuinely cares, those details come naturally. Choosing someone who doesn't choose you back is like pouring water into a cup with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you give, it will never be enough to fill it. That's why love must be mutual. It should feel like a two-way street, not a dead end. When someone truly loves you, they don't make you beg for their time, their affection, or their presence. They give it willingly because they want to, not because they feel obligated. True love makes you feel secure, not anxious. It makes you feel wanted, not tolerated. And most importantly, it reminds you that you are enough just as you are. Love should never be about convincing someone to see your worth. It should be about finding someone who already does. Self-worth is the foundation of every relationship you allow into your life. It dictates how you let people treat you, how much effort you put into proving yourself, and how long you stay in situations that don't serve you. When you truly understand your value, you don't settle for half-hearted love, inconsistent attention, or people who only choose you when it's convenient for them, you begin to realize that the way someone treats you is not a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of what they are capable of giving. And if they can't give you the respect, love, and effort you deserve, then it's not your job to shrink yourself or work harder just to be noticed. The problem starts when you forget your worth and believe that love is something you have to chase. You convince yourself that if you try a little harder, if you change a little more, if you become exactly what they need, then maybe, just maybe, they'll finally choose you. But love that requires you to constantly prove yourself isn't love at all. It's a transaction. It's an endless pursuit of approval that leaves you exhausted and empty. You should never have to convince someone to appreciate you, to see you, to value you. The right person will recognize your worth from the start, not after you've spent months or years trying to show them. When you know your worth, you set boundaries not to push people away, but to protect yourself from relationships that drain you. You don't tolerate mixed signals, unanswered texts, or people who treat you like an option while you treat them like a priority. You stop excusing their lack of effort, stop justifying their inconsistencies, and stop settling for less than what you give. Because the moment you realize your value, you stop looking for validation from those who can't see it. You stop handing over your energy to people who take without giving. And most importantly, you stop staying where you are not valued. Knowing your worth also means understanding that love should never feel like a battle to be won. It's not about proving that you're lovable or trying to earn someone's affection. It's about finding someone who meets you at the same level, who gives as much as they take, and who sees you for who you are without you having to beg for it. When you recognize your value, you naturally attract people who do too. You stop clinging to those who make you feel unworthy and start welcoming those who appreciate you effortlessly. You no longer waste time waiting for someone to wake up and realize what they have. Instead, you walk away from anything that makes you question your importance, and in doing so, you make space for the kind of love that chooses you just as much as you choose it. Energy in a relationship should always be reciprocated. When two people care about each other, there is a natural balance in the way they communicate, support, and show up for one another. It doesn't mean that both people will always give in the exact same way, but there should be a sense of equality where one person isn't constantly left feeling like they are the only one putting in effort. When you find yourself always being the one to text first, to check in, to make plans, or to keep the connection alive, it's a sign that the energy is not being returned. Relationships require effort from both sides, and when one person continuously takes without giving, it creates an imbalance that leads to frustration, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion. When someone values you, their actions show it. They don't leave you waiting for replies, they don't ignore your needs, and they don't disappear only to return when it suits them. Instead, they match your energy. They reach out because they genuinely want to talk to you. They make time because they enjoy being around you. And they put in effort because they appreciate you. Love and care are shown in the consistency of small actions, not just in big gestures. It's in the way someone remembers the little things about you, in how they make an effort to understand your feelings, and in the way they include you in their life. If you constantly find yourself waiting for someone to choose you, it's time to step back and reassess. You deserve to be with people who show up for you the way you show up for them. The right people will never make you feel like an afterthought. They won't make you question your place in their life, because their actions will always reassure you. When energy is reciprocated, relationships feel natural and fulfilling instead of draining and uncertain. There is no need to chase, no need to overthink, and no need to prove yourself. A connection that is meant to last will always feel balanced, where both people are equally invested in keeping it strong. The right person will always make you feel at home. Being with them won't feel like a constant struggle or a test of your worth. Instead, it will be a space where you can be yourself without fear of judgment, rejection, or conditions. Love should feel safe, not like something you have to earn by being perfect or meeting someone else's expectations. When someone truly chooses you, they don't make you question their intentions, they don't make you feel like you have to fight for their time, and they don't leave you wondering where you stand. They provide reassurance, not through words alone, but through consistent actions that show they care. There's a certain kind of peace that comes with being around the right person. You don't feel the need to overanalyze their messages, their tone, or their presence in your life. You don't feel like you have to compete for their attention or prove that you are worthy of being loved. Instead, you just know. You feel it in the way they listen, in the way they remember the small things about you, in the way they support your dreams, and in the way they make time for you, even when life gets busy. Love isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. When someone truly values you, they won't treat you like an option. They won't disappear when things get difficult or come back only when it suits them. They will be there, not just in moments of happiness, but also when life is messy, uncertain, and overwhelming. They will stand beside you, offering comfort instead of distance, understanding instead of judgment. A love like this doesn't feel like a burden or an emotional roller coaster. It feels steady, like something you can count on. Being with the right person means being in a relationship where you feel heard, respected, and appreciated. It means knowing that your feelings matter, that your presence is valued, and that you don't have to constantly fight to be seen. Real love doesn't play games. It doesn't make you feel like you are too much or not enough. It makes you feel like you are exactly where you are meant to be. Life is too short for one-sided love, for waiting on people who can't decide if they want you, and for holding on to relationships that drain more than they give. Love should never feel like a never-ending chase, where one person is constantly reaching while the other barely notices. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and wasting it on someone who doesn't see your worth only takes away from the happiness you could be experiencing elsewhere. Love is meant to be shared, not begged for. When you give your heart to someone who doesn't fully choose you, you end up living in a cycle of hope and disappointment. You keep convincing yourself that maybe one day they'll see how much you care, or maybe they'll finally return the energy you've been giving, or maybe they just need more time to come around. But real love doesn't need convincing. It doesn't require you to constantly prove your worth or hold on to the idea of what could be. The truth is, if someone truly wants you in their life, you won't have to remind them to make an effort. They will do it naturally because they care, because they see you, and because they value your presence. Every moment spent chasing someone who doesn't choose you is a moment lost from finding someone who will. The world is full of people who are capable of loving you the way you deserve, but you'll never find them if you're too busy trying to fix a one-sided connection. Love should bring joy, not leave you feeling anxious, unworthy, or emotionally exhausted. The right person won't make you question their feelings or leave you hanging when you need them most. They will choose you in the same way you choose them, without hesitation, without games. Walking away from a love that isn't mutual isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It means you respect yourself enough to stop settling for less than you deserve. It means you recognize that your heart, your time, and your energy are valuable, and you're no longer willing to give them to someone who doesn't truly appreciate them. Love should be a choice made by both people, not a battle where only one is fighting. Love, in its truest form, should never leave you questioning your worth, chasing after someone's affection, or waiting for the bare minimum. It should be mutual, effortless, and filled with reciprocity. The right person will never make you feel like an option. They will make you feel like a priority. When you truly understand your value, you stop settling for one-sided love and you start embracing the kind of connections that make you feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Choosing someone who chooses you isn't just about love, it's about self-respect. It's about walking away from relationships that drain you and opening yourself up to the kind of love that is genuine, steady, and fulfilling. Life is too short to waste on people who don't see your worth, and the moment you realize that, you make space for the love you truly deserve. Good luck and thank you message. I hope these words remind you of the power you hold in choosing the people you allow into your life. You are worthy of love that is wholehearted, consistent, and true. Never settle for less. Choose those who choose you, and you'll find yourself surrounded by the kind of love that brings peace, not confusion. Wishing you strength, clarity, and the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't serve you. Thank you for your time, and I hope you carry this message forward in your journey.